So Justin, have you
just
been
waiting.
following the tournament so far? Do we know how Stryker and Tim got here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Michael is the higher seed in this matchup. So Tim mentioned earlier in the chat here that a striker may change sides on him. So Michael does get to select the sides for this matchup. So if I may look at the yeah, so Michael was the number 6 seed. He defeated Pavel Yanishevsky in the first round, beat Tesos in the second, and then um, he beat the number 7 seed Korean player, BH Ju, in the third round. And in order to get here, Tim was the number 13 seed. He only played a couple of games yesterday. And so he's gotten here by beating Wayne Yee, Marco DeSantis, and a fellow American Thomas Coverdale. But here we are, and we're going to be seeing Tim's hand today. And Ted, I see a lot of low numbers here.
Yeah, but two really good access cards. Well, three if you count Nasser here. So a little bit of a mixed bag. I played a game yesterday, kind of similar deal where you're so low on ops that you can't even take advantage of the access. So we'll see. No defectors either. So we'll see what Tim goes with here. What do you like, Justin?
Oh boy, yeah, this is tough. Tim, I know that Tim favors Vietnam. That is his favorite headline as the USSR, and indeed, that's what he goes with, despite having Middle East scoring. So let's see how he wants to attack this board. Suez could be a decent headline if you're going to go for the Middle East knockout, but you don't have the ops to follow that up with a big coup or anything like that. So yeah, clearly Suez wasn't an option, but yeah, lots of low ops here. And yeah, going to use that Vietnam bonus right away to take Thailand. I think that's smart. Tim's going to have to figure out the Middle East situation, but with Nasser in his hand, that may be easy. That may be pretty easy for him.
Yep, and he is inviting a coup here with only two in Thailand, but he's figuring he can coup back if he needs to.
Yep, yeah. If he wants to take a big old swing with the China card, or even a 3-op coup, which of course then becomes a 4-op coup with Vietnam, he can do that. Stryker, I doubt he's gonna. I doubt he would try the coup here in Thailand. I would expect maybe a spread into Pakistan here. What do you think, Ted?
I mean, it depends. If I'm Stryker and I had two 4-ops in my hand, for instance, I think I might try that coup. But if not, then yeah, I think you're trying to get into Pakistan and Egypt here, and always got to fill up France as well. So he does have other things that he can focus on.
So Stryker Tim attacking Asia here, but he does have to get rid of Middle East scoring. Obviously, we know that, but Stryker does not know that. So Tim hoping, I'm sure, to get Nasser off before Stryker steps into Egypt.
Yeah,
I imagine Tim's play in Asia would suggest that Michael will respond in Asia, but you never know.
Yep, you would think so. Okay, here comes the 4-op. He does not coup. And he is going to go for France. Yep.
Interesting. Okay, so that suggests that Michael has Europe scoring, and there's not much that Tim could do about that. He could event Suez here, but he needs those ops desperately, so I doubt we'll see that.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go straight for Nasser. I think both players are kind of, what, I have business I need to do. I'm going to let the other guy do what he needs to do and get things done here.
Yeah, and Michael correctly deducing that Tim, just because he spread it to Thailand rather than dumping the scoring, does not have Asia scoring. So he knows Asia can wait a little bit, but he doesn't want to wait on Europe. So Michael just wants to score his nice 5-point domination and move on. Tim, I can only assume, would be thrilled to just get out of this Middle East scoring situation for 0.
Yes,
and focus on other regions.
So. And yet another case where two very high-level players are not rushing to drop DEFCON. And Tim's in a weird position here where he either needs DEFCON to go down very quickly so he can play decall, or he's just going to hold decall till turn 1 and get rid of CIA at some point.
Yep. Yeah, so Okay, so Tim now has an opportunity to dump Middle East if he wants to. Oh, he's going to go for a domination. Use
Yeah,
his
I
only
thought
fiat to go for
that
this
might be the
domination.
case. Yeah, I do kind of like that play because, even if Stryker does coup here, right, and even if he totally flips over one of those countries, it's gonna be 1 point.
Yep. So he's gonna. So yes, this definitely invites a coup of Libya or perhaps Egypt, because if you get a mediocre roll, you can threaten to fill it back up, and an opportunity for Stryker to get his mill ops. But Stryker is an elite player. He also knows that a Middle East domination, while it sounds bad, is only 3 VPs. And giving up 3 VPs in the early war is not the worst thing in the world if you can attack a more stable region like Asia and really make progress there.
Yep, very true. And he could just let it go, and he might have Europe, right? And so Tim scores for 3, he scores for 5. And I do find it interesting. So Stryker was the higher seed, so he got to pick the side, and he went with the U.S.
Yeah,
I,
I'm not sure if Stryker is a stronger U.S. player. I know Tim prefers the U.S. himself, so it could have just been denying Tim his stronger side.
yeah. Sometimes that's the way to go. Okay, no coup. Yeah, just gonna keep marching in Asia.
Okay, so Tim is going to see that and say, okay, I will take my 3 points.
Yep.
And now South Korea are going to become very important here very quickly. I would think neither player is cooed. Tim has got Thailand, and the U.S. Michael has got Pakistan and India. So South Korea could be very big. Usually, of course, we see the opposite, as that the U.S. has easier access to Thailand, but Tim locked it up early with that Vietnam revolt. Now, Ted, how would you handle the rest of this hand? Would you just be looking to event CIA quickly, maybe even on AR6, and just CIA get it out before you decall, so that Michael doesn't have a great coup target?
Yeah, this has become very tricky for Tim very quickly here. The problem with the AR6 CIA is A, the Columbia walk. B, I'd be very scared of a coup of Thailand at 2. It's just a 2, and so you get a high enough roll, you got all sorts of problems there.
Yeah,
Um,
yes. A big role there is a problem. Even though you get to coup back, then with CIA itself as a 2 op in Thailand, that can get pretty dicey, especially with Asia unscored.
yeah, but I think you're probably right. I think that Tim is going to wait until AR6 here. Okay, there it is.
There it is, and Michael with does not have Europe, so that is interesting. Immediately filling France there and just putting one into Pakistan is interesting. I expected that meant Michael had Europe, but he doesn't. Um, and perhaps he thought that Tim had Europe. So okay, Tim's going to get his 3 VPs now. Tim still needs Millops here.
He does still need Millops, and then here's the situation I was talking about, right? Which is if he plays CIA right now, Defcon's at 4. I don't know. If you're Michael, are you going Thailand? I think I'm taking that risk.
So if you coup Thailand with a 1 op, you need a 6 to get one in there, right?
You do, but even if you just break it, I think you cause some problems.
So if you just break it, then Tim has 2 ops to repair. He can put one more in Thailand and he can put one in Laos or something like that. But then
Sure.
he has to coup on AR6, and when one side has to, of course, coup on AR6 and can't do anything else because of the Millop situation, the U.S. can do some nasty things there.
Exactly. The other thing, what are you doing with this 1 point? What are you doing that's super exciting? Yeah. Okay, he fails.
Yeah. Okay. And so Tim's going to take a 1 op coup here. And he's going to miss on that coup. So now DEFCON's sitting at 2. Tim's going to concede a point on Millops, but he's probably fine with that. Now, Stryker has, of course, seen that Tim has decall, so I would expect him to step in Angola here, right?
Yes, you would think so. So Tim probably wants to overprotect France, and then get into Africa. I'll be interested to see if he continues to crawl towards Thailand at all.
Yeah.
Even though
Okay.
the one in Malaysia um, is a nice threat there for AR6.
Yeah. I like one in one in Malaysia for Michael here, just to make Tim overprotect,
Yeah.
and use one of those decall influence to overprotect Thailand. And then, assuming he does that, where do you want to go with decall? Do you like Indonesia? Do you like? I assume you need, of course, Algeria to get access to France, and then one in Angola or Zaire. What do you like, Ted?
Ooh, yeah, I mean Indonesia becomes very important here if Tim ever wants to dominate Asia. But then you're in a weird situation where you're spending two or three of your decall in Southeast Asia. I could also see Stryker just putting two in Algeria, one in Angola here.
Yeah, and just kind of conceding Southeast Asia in favor of Africa. That would make
Yeah.
sense too.
Um, but yeah, I think if you're Tim, okay, let's. It's going to depend a little bit on what Stryker does, but I would assume Zaire, Algeria, those two are definites in Africa, and then Indonesia, Thailand makes sense. Laos, Thailand makes sense. Even another one in Africa, and just ignore Southeast Asia, I suppose.
Yeah, that's possible too. But with it might be a little bit. Tim might be a little bit concerned that because he has conceded Pakistan and India, that he might need to fight in country count in Southeast Asia again. Usually those roles are reversed. Okay, so wow, Michael's going to overprotect France and go to Angola. Okay, so one Zaire makes sense. One Algeria still makes sense, I think. Oh, he's gonna put one in Thailand anyway, even though Stryker did not go into Malaysia, and I think I still like Indonesia here. I think I like Indonesia better than Thailand here with Stryker not in Malaysia. What do you think, Ted?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, because how is Michael going to do anything in Thailand? Okay, and then Indonesia.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I would have preferred Nigeria here, to Thailand, but I guess Tim figures, you know what? I've got to get that third into Thailand eventually. Might as well get it done now.
Yeah, are we going to
And
see De Gaulle out of Stryker here? I'm wondering that was just that was a defensive play a little bit. Okay, he's got space. Yeah, okay,
Okay,
that
so
makes sense.
Michael's going to go to space, and so yeah, now Tim would need De Gaulle to flip over France, and he does not get it. He draws Europe, and he doesn't draw anything with which to contest Europe. So I think this may be a situation where you're going to headline Europe. So you can headline Europe and hope for defectors, or you could headline Warsaw Pact and stop the domination score on an AR1. I don't think you would. I don't think you would do that though, because then you're giving up a coup, and that's all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah, there's all sorts of bad stuff. Not to mention the possibility of getting Warsaw defected. So I think Tim is going to say, you know what? Here's the 5. Maybe it does get defected. I don't think that Stryker will do that. And now he has a lot of ops. A lot of ops.
Yes.
The other problem with playing Warsaw is that then activates NATO.
Of course. Yeah. So NATO inactive right now and will be for the rest of the turn. So Tim can play that at his leisure. He'll UN Marshal, he'll space NORAD, and he'll play containment on AR6. So Tim with a ton of access here. He's going to get Europe out of the way, hope Stryker defects it. But if he doesn't, he's going to get a nice coup on Angola and then probably start filling up Southeast Asia. Ooh, special relationship. Perhaps as a De Gaulle counter.
Yep,
Michael would just be happy to see his 5 points because yes, Suez is gone, so special relationship pretty free. Obviously, socialists could have taken one out of UK, but that's not where you want to be taking stuff out of if you're the USSR.
Okay, so now you're thinking of coup of Angola here. I think I might coup Panama.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. Well,
So you like the idea of coup in Panama here now. So yeah, by going for a 3-op, you just need to not roll a 1, and Tim rolls a 1.
so what?
So that is hugely problematic for Tim. Now he doesn't get Angola. And yeah, that's a really bad one. But so Ted, I assume you were thinking of Panama for the eventual Colombia play potentially because you got such a high ops hand and no D stall.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Is you have the ops to spare. Yeah.
You've also used blockade for ops, so you are not. So if Michael has D stall, you're not getting it till turn 7. Yep, and there's South Korea.
Nice move by Stryker. Ooh.
Reaching
Yes,
for the
do it,
card,
Tim. Do it. Jam.
He has the ops to back it up here. Now, Ted, correct me if I'm wrong. We saw, I believe, nuclear test ban from Michael last turn, but we didn't see.
We did. We have not seen Red Scare Purge.
We've not seen Purge, and we have not seen U.S. Japan either. So Tim thinking now about a jam in South Korea. If he doesn't jam South Korea, he needs to start taking Southeast Asian countries quickly. I would imagine, Ted, that if Michael had Purge, he would have headlined it over Special Relationship, because that would protect France from De Gaulle. That because France would be 2-1, he wouldn't be able to flip it.
Yep,
so I don't think Michael has Purge, but he could easily have U.S. Japan.
That's true. Yep, U.S. Japan's the other one. Yep, that's right.
So the fact that Michael just filled up Korea there on turn 2 suggests that he has the war and plans to either space or hold it.
Yes, you would imagine. So, which makes Southeast Asia even more of a priority for Tim here.
So Tim with 5 countries now to just 4 for Michael. But yeah, I would expect countries. I might expect countries like Afghanistan, Burma, to be filled up earlier than normal here, because country count could be very important.
Yep, certainly. If Max Goldman is watching right now, he is very excited about the Burma possibilities.
Yes, it could even be filled on this action round.
Yep. The other thing that Stryker's going to have to watch out for here is Tim just flipping over Angola with a 4.
Yeah, and Tim does have that option. Okay, so just a 1. Okay, to sneak into Iraq. I like that. Yeah, that might have been a nice play for Tim to fill up Iraq there. He certainly got the ops to do it. But yeah, now I think if I'm Tim, I'm either jamming South Korea with the China card, or filling up some Southeast Asian countries to protect against that domination. You've got 5 countries now. If you take Burma and Malaysia, that's 7. And it's going to be very tough to get dominated there in the Middle East. Plus, you've got 2 war cards coming up, potentially, that you could use to get a domination of your own.
Right. Yep. With IP War unseen here, that and D-Stall are I think the 2 biggest cards that we yet to see thus far.
Yep. So with this, I don't mind taking a country like Burma or Afghanistan here, or even both, just to fill up that Asia country count. But also taking Middle East battlegrounds is not bad. Michael, interesting.
That is interesting.
UN's NORAD and not Marshall. Probably figuring that with France at 5, he's resigning himself to a Europe domination.
Huh.
UNing Marshall and spacing NORAD would be an automatic play for me, but okay, there's IP War. Michael just eventing it for the Mill-Ops, and he gets a couple of VPs out of it as well.
Okay, well, that's certainly annoying for Tim. That's a 4-point swing right there.
Yeah. Tim was certainly hoping that Michael did not have that card. There it is. Okay, so he's going for that jam. What are your thoughts on a jam in Korea, Ted?
I mean, I like jam in Korea.
Yeah,
I like jam. I think I like it better as the U.S. doing it to North Korea than the other way around here. But I think this is a strong play. I mean, CIA is gone. We've seen 5-year plan. We have not seen duck and cover. I don't think there's a lot of risk of playing the China card here. And then he certainly has the ops to back it up. He certainly has the ops to overprotect both of the Koreas should he succeed. His other options with his ops are, Iraq, right, and then flipping over Angola.
Yes, Iraq and Angola are his other options, or it would be a little bit passive, but like I mentioned, taking Southeast Asian countries to prevent an eventual domination. The fact that you just saw IP War suggests Tim is less likely to get it on turn 3. Michael probably has the Korean War, or maybe he just or maybe he doesn't have it, and he's hoping Tim doesn't have it, or that he misses on the roll. But either way, I think you need to make sure you don't get dominated in Asia.
Yep, I would agree. And so yeah, the two paths I think are jamming, or doing the sort of Afghanistan Burma. That's just such a painful use of 4-op though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So he's gonna go 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. He's gonna put 2 into South Korea to get access to Nigeria. Excuse me. He's going to put 2 in South Korea and then 1 into Cameroon to get access to Nigeria. Michael will certainly not coup that. He's going to repair, and then Tim can pick up Nigeria.
The problem with this is you're sort of foregoing the option to jam South Korea with the China card.
Yes.
Because you're not going to, if you do that and then use Marshall, well, I suppose it could work out. I would just be worried about getting to Nigeria.
The other reason I don't love it is you are now conceding mill ops to the USSR to Michael next turn. So now you have no chance to get those 2 VPs.
Yep, I agree, and I would just rather flip over Angola if I'm worried about Africa. Get you access to South Africa.
So Tim is going to concede. Yeah, I would have just spaced NORAD and UN Marshall, but that's just Marshall's is the best target for UN there in the early war for the USSR. But Tim has realized, I think correctly, that he really is not going to compete in Europe, and so he might as well use Marshall's 4 ops and get the most ops as he can out of it.
Yeah, I mean he does get three additional ops out of it. That's so there is that. Space could become a problem here. I played a game yesterday where space just absolutely terrorized me. I lost 10 points to it. I lost, 2 very good discards because my opponent got up there, and you can see my headline game.
Yeah.
There is Japan, so Tim is very happy he didn't do the jam there because that would have been fruitless.
Yes, so Michael was holding back a 4-op just for that possibility. And now Michael has drawn even on country count. So and he's 1 op away from a domination here. So Tim could also, I was just going to say that I wonder if Tim is going to take his shot at Japan.
I applaud Tim's bravery here.
Yeah.
Because you could just see a U.S.-Japan headline on turn 3, and that would be so devastating. But certainly the odds are against that happening. But
that is a risky play from Tim. But you know what? You're playing against one of the best in the world. You need to take chances. That play is far too risky for my blood. I would have done something like take Malaysia and Afghanistan with Marshall to ensure I'm not going to be dominated. Hope to just get Asia off for even, and hope to draw D-stall. So, and now, interestingly, Michael could, if he wanted to, simply coup in Cameroon and take Nigeria for himself.
Yep, somebody's going to do. Okay. Tim's in a little bit of trouble here with Michael up 7.
Yeah, okay. So 1 there makes sense.
I think the 2 Malaysia or Afghanistan here.
I don't like that at all. With poking something with containment, unless it's for access. Poking West Germany with containment is fine if you need the access to France, but I don't like this. It's pretty clear that Michael doesn't have Asia. This would be a fantastic play if Michael had Asia, but I really don't think that he does. Okay, so he's going to overprotect North Korea. No, I don't like that. I would much rather see Tim simply take Malaysia.
Yes, I would agree. I mean, he's not worried about getting dominated in Asia anymore. with Japan. But certainly Stryker would have just scored Asia last action instead of spacing.
Okay, so Tim is going to give up Marshall. I would rather see him give up containment here and hold on to Marshall in case he redraws NATO.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does activate NATO. I don't think I don't think Stryker was going to put any additional ops in Europe.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Tim was maximizing his ops, right? He wanted the 3 extra from North. I do think that he was probably never going to, certainly not likely to dominate Europe. Maybe some sort of draw, but it's just Socialist is essentially useless now. Even you don't even get the benefit of like an annoying Willy Brandt poke. Suez, if it comes back, de Gaulle's useless now. It really, really just takes away any sort of hope you have in Europe.
yeah. Even a de Gaulle, de Gaulle headline AR1 Europe scoring is now useless. Like you said, Willy Brandt AR1. Okay, Truman to just fix. Yeah, that was a pretty ineffectual poke there of South Korea. But okay, so Tim gets Asia. He also
Which is that your headline?
Asia is my headline here, 100%. Socialist is not going to do you any good.
No. I mean, it would very temporarily take away his domination, but I just think you'd rather have the ops there. And Asia, I don't think it doesn't matter. He has.
I mean, if he has Japan, then he has it, and you're getting dominated for sure. Right. I mean, if Michael has Japan, and obviously that'll certainly be his headline, that would give Michael 6 countries to Tim's 5.
Yeah, so I guess the benefit of not headlining Asia is you could give yourself a chance to scramble and prevent the domination. Maybe I'd have to do the math.
But without China, that's tough because you're going to have to take Malaysia, and even taking Malaysia and Afghanistan would only get you 7 countries. So Michael could just take Philippines and Taiwan with a 4-op, and that'd be 8, and that would be enough for domination.
Yeah. And so I have the card tracking here. So it looks like in Michael's hand, we're going to have Red Scare Purge, Destall, Defectors, Korean War, and Gaul.
Those are all cards that Tim would like to have.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ted. I'm a little new at this, but I think those are cards that Tim would rather he himself have.
Yep, I would agree with that. And really, no good redraws here.
Wow. That's brutal. That's just brutal. Tim took the chance there, and he's going to concede 6 points. That's a 7.7 VP swing against Tim there. And Michael, and he rolls another one in Angola. Wow. Yeah. Tim filled up Japan, hoping that Michael wouldn't redraw it. Michael just waited him out, and instead of putting the immediate Japan headline here, pretended he was thinking about it, and then scored that nice domination. So, what a terrible break for Tim, and then that second one in Angola, where even a 2 would have been fine, and he'd be in a position to threaten Africa control. He rolls 2 1s instead.
Yeah, this is problematic here, certainly. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities for, I guess Stryker would have to have redrawn Europe and IP war to end it this turn. Space in Europe.
Space could do it. Space in Europe would do it. Two coups in Angola where anything but a 1 would have been fine. And Tim rolls Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
It's now going to become one of those games where the USSR just kind of needs to content themselves with filling up the Middle East because there's not much else to do.
And the other thing you have to worry, think about here with Tim is, I mean, how many ops did he spend in South Korea? Is that 4 or 5? Because did he break it once or twice?
He broke it twice and got nothing out of it.
So that's 5. Again, I would have just so much rather flipped over Angola. Yeah.
Or taken Malaysia and Afghanistan to prevent what Michael just did
Right.
to him.
Right.
Michael also has guaranteed double space, so although he missed that roll, he's going to have another opportunity. This where you could get into the situation of, do you want to hold on to D-stall in case Tim gets salt? And Tim is doing the right thing here. He's just gonna fill up the Middle East because he has nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. What are your thoughts on that, Ted? Would you want to space D-stall here, go for the 2 VPs, or would you want to hold on to it in case Tim draws salt?
I mean, it depends. So, De Gaulle, you'd rather just play for the ops. I mean, of his known cards, there's nothing else that I'd want to space. So, I think I'd probably space it. And then he might even be able to hold Purge here.
Yeah,
Again, he's
I
got 5
absolutely
cards, and we know 4 of them. Well, there's
would. Well, he won't be holding anything unless he plays China.
It's interesting.
We're going to overprotect Iran to keep his presence steady there, and thought South Africa might be a thing, but apparently not yet. So Tim, I'm sure, is going to want to space duck and cover. There he goes, misses again on the roll.
Of course, one of those games for Tim here.
Yep, and now was just what we were talking about earlier. Michael's going to get Millops.
Now Tim has to protect that.
Yep, and he's got to protect Zaire as well. Man, what is Tim's path back here? His path is to draw salt, get D-stall, to brush war Iran and score a presenceless control of the Middle East. This is looking bad for Tim.
Yeah, I think his most likely path here is getting some breathing through some sort of combination in the Middle East, where you draw the scoring card and you draw, Muslims or brush war or even ABM, and just take a Hail Mary there at Iran. And because what would a presence-less score there be, 8 or 9?
Yeah, if you can get presenceless domination there, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if you can knock out Iran and score, that'd be 9 for Tim.
So that and OPEC together.
Tim, I think going to fill up Mexico and South Africa here. Yep, that's exactly what he does.
Yeah. Some sort of combination of Africa, Southeast Asia scoring coming out early. Kind of all of those things. Okay, so Tim's going to hold socialist, which is smart because he now has the possibility of breaking domination if he does pull Europe.
Yep. And he's going to fill another battleground, at least. And
interesting here.
Scoring comes out quickly.
I wonder if Stryker puts one more in France and one in one of the Mediterranean countries. Stryker is sitting on Red Scare Purge here.
Yep. And he's going to play China and hold Purge. Okay. He's just going to jam Algeria and stop Tim's Africa domination.
No, that's really smart. Yeah, and then he just has a devastating headline. Ugh.
And this hand is terrible.
Correct,
Ted? So again,
this is very bad.
So, it's a little bit early to talk about, DEFCON only. But certainly you have to keep Gunman in the deck. I guess you're headlining Quagmire, or I guess you're probably going to use NORAD and then play Quagmire mid-turn, right? You don't want to headline Quagmire here. Or headline South African, right?
Yeah, or Socialist.
I don't like this.
I was going to rethink it. Socialist isn't terrible either, but I do think South Africa is better. The other thing with gunmen is you're very likely to get purged.
Yeah. Okay. That is a very nice hand for Michael. He will certainly be scoring control in Central America and probably ending the game. Correct?
Yep. Yep. I mean, the only thing that would make him hesitate, he even draws salt just to rub salt in the wound there. So Tim's not picking up D-Stall. I mean, the only thing that would make him hesitate would be, the possibility of Tim having Fidel, but I think you take that risk, certainly.
Certainly, yeah. Make him have it. So, yeah, Tim needs to coup Panama and roll a 6, but even then, Stryker's got Junta.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I mean, I almost, if you're Tim, I think you almost have to immediately Quagmire.
Yeah. Yep.
And even then, you just don't have any, you can't even stop it.
So, yeah, I guess Tim won't coup here. He's gonna take a big swing at Panama with the China card, I imagine.
Yep.
And or NORAD. Correct. You coup with NORAD, I guess, because you're gonna have to Quagmire.
I think you have to use the China card just to get that additional op, even though it's painful 3-up.
Yep. And there's the big 6 that Tim needed.
Yeah, and here
comes Panama. Yep. And Tim's gotta have at least a 4 or this game is over. He gets the 4, so you're right, Ted. He needed that 4, but now Michael can just Junta for 2 right in there.
Yep, and Tim can't do anything about it.
Yep, Tim does not have a 4-op to take Panama back, so Michael will, I'm sure, just pass on his realigns.
Yep, let's see. I mean, Stryker obviously doesn't know Tim's hand, but he does know he's purged. He does know he just used the China card for that coup. I mean, and you do definitely have a path to victory here through that Central America control. And Stryker had plenty of ops to do it.
Yes. Even if Tim did have a 4-op, Stryker would have plenty of ops to fight that war in Panama. Tim has no way to get VPs other than space. What? Wow.
Huh.
Wow. Okay, so Michael is going to make the long-term play. Let's think about this from Michael's perspective. Michael's going to make the long-term play, and he's going to take his 2 points. He knows that that Tim is purged, that Tim's hand is probably not very good, and Kitchen is not active. So, and he's going to use Junta for access into South America.
Yes.
You can also Space Liberation get 2 more VPs. So I guess it's just a case of Michael realizing he didn't need to go for the immediate win.
No, Michael's certainly not. But still, he's going to prevent Africa domination. Certainly here, he's going to take Algeria, so he's going to be in a pretty strong position in Africa. He's going to have that access in South America. He's going to end up with the China card.
And gunmen out of the deck.
And gunmen out of the deck. So and about 15. So he's very, very much in control here. But that is interesting.
This will take Algeria and Botswana as well. Okay. So Michael going to work on an Africa domination.
Yeah, and then the other thing here is that Tim's just got a load of garbage that he has to play here. He's going to have to, Sadat is going to have to get evented. Pope's going to have to get evented. Mentioned you hold OAS.
Yeah, I imagine you could space NORAD, but you probably want to just give it up and get it out, and then Quagmire. The only good thing for Tim is that he's South African is certainly an event. Quagmire is certainly an event. Sadat's a one-op.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, it wasn't the purge wasn't that devastating because of the three one ops and a couple of events here, but certainly didn't help things. It would have lost in the game if Stryker had been more aggressive in Central America.
Yep. So Tim has a good scoring in the Middle East, although it's about to get less good when he gives up Sadat. He's got a good scoring in Southeast Asia. But Stryker dominates Europe. He dominates Asia. He's going to be ahead in Central America. He's going to be ahead in Africa. And he's about to be ahead in South America as well. Gunman is out of the deck. It's hard to see Tim's path back.
No, Europe ends the game. If somebody draws it next turn. Oi. Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, that Japan redraw, the decision by Tim to go into Japan, followed by the redraw, and I'm sure his semi jam of South Korea was made with that in mind, figuring that Stryker didn't have purge, and if he either didn't have a 4-op or he had a 4-op and it was Japan, in which case he was going to take Japan. So he planned for that. That was his decision, and he just was going to hope that Stryker didn't redraw it, and he did, and that was just incredibly rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly, if you're just playing the percentages, Tim was right. The issue is that the cost benefit, right, is just so devastating. China card.
Yeah. And Tim wasn't going to get domination in Asia. He was only going to even it out, whereas flipping it gives Michael domination.
Right, and you always point that out when we're playing team games, is that, hey, you could break that, or you could spend the China card in Asia to take that battleground, but it does not change the domination status, and I think that's a really key point.
Yeah, so Japan was only worth 2 points for Tim, but it was worth what, 8 for Michael, and so that ended up just being really important. I mean, if this VP track is sitting at 7 or 8 right now, you still feel like Tim's in big trouble, especially with Michael holding Junta, but you don't feel like the game is over.
Yep, I would agree. Okay, and then he needed his mill-ups anyways. Just insulting to Tim now, cooing a 1-stab with a 3-op. Good event.
Yeah, I mean, so Michael could use Salt to take back Purge or something like that, but just doesn't feel the need to do it.
Yep.
I don't love Michael's decision not to immediately take Egypt though, with Camp David, and to let Tim take it back. But
no, gets up to 16 now. He's still.
And Liberation is in Michael's hands, so Michael is going to be able to space.
Yep, for 2 more potentially. Tim's still got to deal with the Pope.
I mean, Michael could have even done something crazy like space here, and if he hits the roll, which he does, he could have. I don't know if duck and cover's in the discard, but he could have salted for duck and cover.
Duck and cover is in the discard because it came up turn 3. Yeah, you're right. He could have done that.
So again, we're talking about all the ways that Michael could win the game this turn, and Michael is realizing that he's going to win this game. It doesn't have to be this turn. I mean, Tim needs such a ridiculous confluence of events in order to win this game, and it's just not going to happen for him today. So Tim with a nice run, he's going to wind up finishing second in this tournament. He also had a runner-up finish in the World Cup just a few weeks ago. So Tim's certainly an elite player, a great player. It just looks like it's not going to happen for him today.
Yep. You see, this is just kind of the classic U.S. steamroll. Typically you see it with ooh. Okay. Well, that's one path is, a million missed Quagmire rolls. Without the help of Purge, it's going to be difficult.
Oh, another miss. Okay, well, I have lost games like that myself, and Tim draws another pile of garbage. Missile Envy. I think this is Ted. Is this time for an unsafe Missile Envy?
I mean, I think it has to be, right? I'd feel differently if Tim drew Europe or something in his hand, but
Now he does know that Michael
has Junta.
has Junta. And Junta will be able to degrade DEF CON because Tim did get the one influence there in Panama. So if Michael has drawn, we will bury you, and Tim headlines, we will headline Missile Envy, it's over. I have to imagine Michael will headline Junta to drop DEF CON, right? Yep, and there it is. So OPEC is a nice headline. It's going to give him 4 points, a little bit of breathing room.
Yep. No, Hoot is going to drop DEF CON, which is going to allow Tim to take Angola.
Yeah, you know, in a different world where Tim's hand was not utter garbage, this would have been a good opportunity to headline Suez, knowing you have 2 uncontested action rounds. You flip over France. But because Tim's hand is terrible, that is not the world we live in. So if Tim were to event Suez, he would need to. He only has 2 ops left.
I might play Allende first.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. I would play Allende first, and then you can play Suez and take Angola and Chile. Yeah, I completely agree here. Allende first, definitely. Well, I don't like that. You've lost.
It's gone. It's
lost
Europe's
if Europe
gone.
Comes up anyway. Because now if Michael has South America, that's going to be 3 points for him, assuming he gets out on this roll. And he misses again. So now I end for sure.
Well, this is perhaps an argument for why you go in for the kill when you have the opportunity there.
Now, I wonder if Tim, seeing the discards of Muslim Evolution and Flower Power, will take a chance on Missile Envy.
I think you do. Just who cares? Who cares about Poland?
Tim, the problem is Tim doesn't have any cards to take advantage of this. His hand is utter garbage. And another miss. Goodness gracious. Okay.
Stryker has very much angered the TS gods for not going for that win last turn.
Yeah. This is the win condition that we didn't mention, the endless quagmire.
I just wouldn't have thought it possible without Purge.
Yeah.
He has to play Missile Envy at some point here. You're still so far behind. You have to. Because and the other thing about Missile Envy is that it means that Michael has to use it for the quagmire.
Right, and now Michael has already gotten rid of lots of red cards, but Flower Power is hardly a bad card to get rid of. Arab-Israeli War, not so bad. So those are 3 okay cards to get rid of. To get rid of, but yeah, I wonder if Tim's thinking about it here. Okay, so he gets another VP out of spacing. It is unbelievable, but again, Michael's still in such good position. Now the question is, does Michael have Africa and Middle East scoring? So as soon as he gets out, he's got to play both.
Right. Boy.
I think I'm playing Panama here and stepping into Argentina, and then another missed roll, and you can get it to Uruguay, take Brazil. Right? Don't you want to get into Argentina here?
I want to play Missile Envy because you know what Stryker could have is he could have ABM.
That's true. Yeah.
Brush War too. I mean, he's. But I would have played Missile Envy long ago, and I would have gotten flower power for my trouble. So
Yeah, that's
there's
true.
that.
And I can't imagine Stryker's holding off on getting We Will Bury You because he's afraid of Missile Envy. Okay, he finally gets out.
I suspend
He
Kennedy.
gets rid of Ask Not. So now I think Tim can be pretty confident that Michael does not have We Will Bury You. And if he does it, if he does have it, and he got rid of Ask Not instead, you just shake his hand, right?
Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, because well, I guess Asnot isn't great right now for Stryker, right? With Gunman's gone. Okay, let's see. I'm very
He's
curious.
going to do it, and because Stryker could have something like VOA and a scoring card. And then this means that if Stryker has a scoring card, he can only do 2 ops, and then he's going to score on AR7. Yeah, Tim's saying if he has it, he has it, and
Yep,
there
you're
it
right.
is. Well, he might not have a scoring card, but he pulls VOA, so that was a great missile envy for Tim.
Yeah, what do you like here? Uruguay. He needs to coup too.
Tim needs to coup. Yeah, Tim's got a coup. And Tim is also about to give up nuclear subs. Okay, so that was a really long quagmire, but again, Tim's hand was so poor, he was not able to take a ton of advantage of it. Now he had Middle East domination to start with. He did get Africa out of it, and South America now looks like a draw instead of what would have been, instead of Michael being in a very good position there. And Tim's also about to give up nuclear subs, so unless Stryker has a scoring card, he's probably at that Africa domination is probably going to flip over here. Okay, you're going to get a coup here. Okay.
Okay, so you have to take domination back, I think, if you're in Africa.
I think, yeah, you take domination back now. It's 3 countries to 3. Yeah, I want to take 2.
No.
I would want to take 2 African non-battlegrounds so that if Michael has Africa, you get your domination. If Michael does not have Africa, then a coup does not give him domination. Oh, okay. Well, he had the scoring, but not Africa. And Tim not quite enough ops to take domination. Okay, so Tim survives in South America, and Africa now neutral. And Tim gets a little better hand here. He gets ABM, gets the China card events, which normally are great to draw, but giving up 2 VPs is annoying. And the Southeast Asia will be nice. IP War, not going to help you too much.
No, what
do you see here, Ted?
Well, I see Alliance for Progress and Nixon, which would currently be 5 VPs, which is just absolutely out of the question.
Yeah.
So one of those can go to space. I guess you can hold the other one. I play Southeast Asia, then Usuri.
I guess you're gonna have to give up Usuri here. Yeah, you could also headline Brezhnev here. Don't know that it gets you a ton. You can headline Brezhnev here. Headlining Brezhnev after Southeast Asia under and then playing Usuri on yourself under Brezhnev after Southeast Asia score is really not that bad.
No, it's not. But I think it has to be ABM here. I just think you need the flexibility in the headline. I mean, because he? Because I think it would stop Europe. I think he can double tap, right?
Yes, he can.
No, a Stryker, there's 0 chance Stryker would do that.
I can't imagine Stryker would headline Europe.
He might headline Africa, would be the thing that he could have.
That's possible. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
So that hurts a little bit for Tim, but it also means so Tim is going to go.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to.
Tim wants to threaten here. Ooh, yeah, I like threatening presenceless Middle East. Now, we've said this before, Ted, but anything but a 1 means you're threatening a presenceless Middle East, and Michael has to fix that. And if Tim can get out on the first roll, he's got some problematic cards that he really wants to get rid of. So he's going to go for Algeria. Okay, so he's going to go for Algeria and say, you know what? I want to minimize the number of regions that are going to give him points. I think Nixon's actually worse to give up here than Usuri. I think I would dump Nixon.
No
Keep
question. It
Usuri.
would be Nixon. Yes. Usuri is really not that because you have Southeast Asia. Yeah, you
Yes.
just score.
Once you score, once you score Southeast Asia, Usuri is not that bad.
Yep, and that is the conclusion. I think he is slowly coming to. Okay, he gets out. So TS Gods not angry at Tim, very angry at Michael's passive play in Central America.
Yes. Okay. So Michael could have. Okay, so he's going to get a coup, and I assume this is going to Africa, right?
Yes.
Yep, going to go to Africa. Okay, get a big roll there. But now Tim can fight for domination in Africa.
Can he, though?
So
no.
Yeah, I guess IP war is you could.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, taking Brazil. So yeah, and then I think one op here gives you domination.
Yeah, might as well do that.
To respond.
Yeah, might as well do that. One sneaky backdoor here is a 2-up coup for Michael, and then arms race.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I think Tim will be hip to that, and I think we'll see IP war go off.
Yeah, and that was another thing is if Tim had gone for a run and flipped it over, you all of a sudden get you double your chances on IP war, which would be huge. But if Tim had done that, he would now be dominated in Africa.
Yeah,
and then Stryker would be able to dump the scoring for 4 and get back to that uncomfortably close.
Well, no, hold on though, because if he had done that and forced Stryker to repair, then he would have.
That's true. Yeah, well, yeah, Stryker I guess would have. Yeah, if he had rolled a 5, then yeah, Tim would have presenceless control in the Middle East, which would be 13. So yeah, I guess yes. In that case, Michael would have cooed back in Iran. You're right. This way, he could coup in Angola. You're right.
Yeah, so that's why I did like that. I liked Iran better for that. Also just to be greedy, because there's a scenario where you actually get the VP track back to 0.
Yeah. If you can, Tim obviously has to hope that Stryker is holding on to Africa and that he's holding on to Middle East and that he's not holding on to Europe.
Yep. Well, I mean, Southeast Asia right now, what is that? 4 points?
Southeast Asia's 4 if Michael doesn't do anything. And Michael does have the China card, so I'd want to be scoring that pretty quickly.
Yes. Yeah, he's in an awkward spot here because I would assume we see a Stryker coup of Cameroon.
Yeah. Which sets up arms race, and it also sets up realigns in Zaire.
Now, Tim can coup back with Truman.
Yeah, he can.
I believe he recontrolled Poland.
Yes. Poland is at 1-4 right now.
Well, certainly credit to Tim and his excellent quagmiring skills here. But at the end of turn 4, there we were writing his eulogy.
I mean, I had buried Tim. I had absolutely buried him here. But if Michael, let's just play it out here. Let's say Michael has Africa. Tim probably is not going to be able to get off a domination in Africa, but he has got to give up a VP there. He's going to have to give up. What is that going to be? 6 in the Middle East? 7? You go down under War Games range. Tim's going to get another 4 out of Southeast Asia unless something changes there. This VP track is all of a sudden going to 2 or 3. And maybe Tim gets 5-year plan with Europe. Maybe he gets socialist in Europe. And can dump it quickly. I guess there's a chance, that things happen. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just not quite over.
No, I mean, certainly Stryker, is the heavy favorite, but you just outlined it. I mean, we could end this turn with the VP track around 2, and then there's a world where Fidel is still sitting out there for Cuba. Brush War's still out there.
Okay, that's going to put a stop to any thoughts of Africa domination for Tim.
Yes,
yeah,
so Southeast Asia immediately.
Southeast Asia, immediate dump of the scoring here for a nice 4. That does threaten Algeria realigns as well, but Tim does have access there. Oh, and Tim didn't want to see that.
Okay. Well, that makes it significantly harder for Tim here.
Yes. And I think if Michael had Africa, he would have dumped it there.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because Tim would certainly like that to come back out. And same thing with Middle East. Tim, this is, it looks like, his two strong scorings are going to both be turn 7.
Yeah, and I think I would have dumped Middle East first because we still have not seen brush war. Iran is an excellent target for brush war here. Yeah, and this is hard to believe that Stryker would have held on to Africa instead of dumped. Well, it wouldn't have been one; would have been 2.
No.
And Tim, understandably, okay, so he's going to fight for Africa here.
Okay.
Would you have added it with the 1 and 6?
I think I would have rather the 1 and 6.
Cambridge 5. So he does not have Africa, and he does not have Middle East. That is I know I overuse the word devastating sometimes, but that is devastating for Tim. That his 2 friendly scorings are not going to come up, and Europe is going to get scored twice. A for P, as you said, unacceptable here. And so Tim now, so the VP track, we were talking about a VP track of 1 or 2, and now it's 13. And Tim also about to be realigned out of Zaire.
Yeah.
And going to take maybe more than one roll. There it is. And just to be mean, Stryker decides he's going to, okay, so he's going to trigger OAS instead of Usuri. I don't. You're already dominated in Asia. Usuri's not going to change that.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Ted?
I don't know. I can see it both ways because, you're losing Brazil either way.
Yeah.
I think with that thinking, I think that Tim's right here. OAS goes away. You don't have a 1-up in your hand anymore. Because you trigger Usuri, you got to repair it. And Michael's just going to take Brazil.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, that was a really bad third roll for Tim.
Yeah, it was.
Rolling at -1, you get both your influence taken out. Okay, so Tim gets Middle East. He does not get brush war. And Michael has Africa.
Which he dominates.
And Tim cannot stop that with Portuguese. Is this a situation where you think about headlining Africa as if you're Michael?
Yes, potentially. I mean, what I stopped card tracking here. So what else is in his hand? He's got We Will Bury You. He's got Brush War. He's got We Will Bury You. Cultural, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So. What are you going to do here if you're Tim? Are you going to headline Portuguese for access to Zaire and then take a swing at Zaire if Michael doesn't score Africa? Make him realign again, even though it's at +2?
Yeah, because then you have that access. Okay.
He's going to headline the scoring. Figuring it's not getting any better. Obviously, Michael could have drawn defectors.
Yeah, the other thing it does is let you play shuttle.
Yeah.
Which could be his coup card. But yeah, I think I like Portuguese a little bit better because it does get you that access to Zaire.
Yeah. Now you're probably realistically you're getting realigned out of Angola too, because once Zaire is empty,
Yeah,
Angola is
that's true.
+3.
That's true.
But it makes Michael use an additional role. Um,
Yeah, the other thing is, I mean, you get a nice coup in Zaire, and all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 in there.
yeah, it can be tough to realign out.
Yeah.
But even then, if all Michael does is empty Zaire, Tim, although he's got the scoring, like I don't know, I think Tim is getting dominated here in Africa. Would have been easier to avoid with Portuguese. But yeah, boy, Tim would have loved to draw Brush War, hit Iran with it, and then score Middle East for 13. 6 is nice. 13 would have been a lot nicer. And
Yep.
Michael going over Tim's hand. I don't know how many reshuffled cards we have seen, but I think Middle East was the last card that Tim drew.
Yeah, I don't think
So
any of these are reshuffled.
yeah, so I think that means Michael should know Tim's entire hand, and he should know that Tim can't do anything about Africa.
Yes.
So I think we had either a 1 card or a 0 card reshuffle.
Yeah, so what else could be in Stryker's hands? So we got Wheelbarrow, we got Africa, we got Brush War, we got Cultural. That's 4.
Where's Decall?
That's another good point. He's got Decall. So Stryker's maybe got a little bit of a tough hand here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
We've seen Muslim, we've seen OPEC, obviously we've seen Quagmire. We've seen Liberation. Trying to think of bad cards that Michael
Cuban
could
Missile
have.
Crisis.
Yeah. Oh, Cuban would be interesting here.
Yeah, because it does stop the arms race threat, and it does prevent. That's interesting.
Arms race now. Cuban could be interesting. Now Michael, of course, knows that Tim has Fidel.
I know, but I'm fine. If you got to play Fidel, then you got to take 2 out.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
And you dropped DEFCON to 2, so have that to win some.
So you can't get that big coup out of Zaire. Yep, and Michael's just going to headline the scoring, and I think that's the right call. He knew he was going to be able to get 4 out of it, and didn't want to have to mess around with realigns in Zaire. So Tim nets all of 2 VPs out of Middle East and Africa. When we were talking about how that could be, 15 or something crazy like that, instead it's 2.
Ooh, I like Shuttle. I like Shuttle much more.
Oh well, yeah, Shuttle would have been nicer. That would have gotten him Panama. Now it's going to get. Yeah, he had to have a 6 to flip it over completely. But now Tim can get off arms race.
Well, right, but I was thinking that you use Shuttle. If you fail, you got the 3 mil ops, which makes it just a little bit harder for Stryker. Stryker's additionally got to use the 3 ops to coup, Uruguay. But yeah, certainly we were talking about getting that VP track down to 2 or 3. Before that, we were eulogizing Tim, so we have gotten out ahead of ourselves quite a bit here.
We have, yeah, but it's so hard to see. It's just so hard to see Tim coming back. Okay, so there's China. You're going to see 3 in Panama, and then, yep, it's going to take Central America domination. And so Tim, Tim's just going to get arms race off. Because Stryker may have redrawn 1 card, and Tim's going to hope it wasn't Central America scoring.
Which I think you have to.
Yep. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Stryker here with 4 dominations, Tim with 1, and the 1 domination is already scored. Stryker up 7 VPs, lone gunman out of the deck. But we'll see. A brush war in Italy changed. Oh, no, of course, no. Forget that. Stryker has brush war. So forget about that.
Yeah, where do you think Stryker's going to go with this brush war?
Yeah, Thailand is not a great target. Argentina is not a great target. Um, Libya, no. Middle East is scored. Your only good targets that a 4 would get it done are in the scored regions. So maybe this is a situation where a Stryker is able to. This is a situation where you hold Brush War for a rainy day, and see if something bad happens on turn 8.
Yeah.
You need to use Brush War to take something back.
Yep. I agree.
But we've also talked about Stryker's hand. He's got some problem cards. Okay, no. So he's played China, so he's going to get rid of cultural,
Yep, that was
and
smart. That was
so
that was
so
really
he'll be
smooth.
able to now hold 2 cards to next turn.
Yeah, and
And I think one of
man,
them will be Brush War.
that right there, it's those plays. It's a kind of a nothing play, right? Takes two non-battlegrounds in Central America. Like, okay, whatever, but just really changes the complexion of Central America. Makes Fidel nasty, right? And that's just what really separates these high-level players.
Yeah, you'd make Tim waste time here cooing Nicaragua, maybe fighting a coup war in Nicaragua before you can even event Fidel. And Tim and Michael knows that Tim's got problem cards to deal with. Colonial rear guards and and Usuri are issues. Obviously, wants to event Fidel. So Michael knows he's got some problem cards here in his hand. And I like it. It's a good play. And Socialists, Korean War. So Socialist Government's a card that Tim could use to potentially dump Europe on AR1. Korean War, obviously, Tim would love to see, and obviously the Purge to shake things up is so.
Yeah,
Those
that was
cards
a tough.
problematic for Tim,
Yeah, that was a tough part, man.
but I think Tim had to take the chance. I don't think he can give up colonials here.
No, certainly not. And annoyingly, Stryker only has one country in the Middle East, but you can't do the poke.
Nope. And remember, we talked earlier, now way back. I mean, Stryker overprotected Iran way back on like turn 3.
Yeah,
Because he just really didn't want to poke followed by a scoring. And yeah, he anticipated that.
yeah. Again, and that is what makes these players so good. Is it was again kind of a little bit of a throwaway. We noted it at the time. We understood it. It was smart, but I think it's something that 99% of players would not do.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. I've been like, another op in Iran? Muslim Revolution is going to wipe me out anyway. Hostage Christ is going to wipe me out anyway. Forget about it. I'm going to leave 2 there and just hope that's good enough. And the fact there were 3 there instead of 2 means that Tim now no longer has a couple of really nice tools to fight back in the late war.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but I think that Tim's calculus would have changed on the coup last turn with ABM.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Now, one interesting thing here, Stryker did not space "We Will Bury You."
Yeah, so he's holding Me Will Bury You till turn 8.
And does not have the China card.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I also don't know. Salt is there. Is this an edge case, Ted, where you think about you have access to Cuba anyway? Would you think about using Fidel for 2 ops in Cuba, putting him in the discard pile in case you need to salt it back or something like that? That's probably too late, and you're probably too far behind to think about that.
I think it's interesting. I certainly wouldn't have thought of it. I think the issue is that the coup war situation here. You just,
Yeah.
I think you have to, because look, you'd have 2 in there right now, man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in this case you would do just 1 in Cuba, 1 in Haiti.
Yeah, so yeah, he's gonna have to put 1 in Haiti. And One Small Step, another card that Tim, I'm sure, would have loved to see in his hand.
Yep, that is true. We missed that. That was one we were not accounting for. Now, it is. Did we miss "We Will Bury You," or are we pretty sure that that's in Stryker's hand?
I'm almost certain that it is in Stryker's hand. We were
'Cause-
looking for it because Tim had Missile Envy.
right, because I mean, a Ames terrorism combo.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we will bury you certainly can still go to space, but it just makes it then, you have Reformer in hand or any number of other bad things, you got to play them. Okay, so South African was a redraw. So Michael did redraw one card. Tim redrew no cards. Michael must have redrawn one, and that was it. Yep. And Tim's going to give up shuttle, and I assume coup that right back.
Yeah. Yep, and of course, if you're Michael, you are more than happy to coup Caribbean countries.
Yep.
Spend ages doing that.
Yep. He's just looking at his watch, running down the clock here.
Now, the VP track is no longer super threatening. I mean, we are kind of on the cusp of war games here, and Tim's issue is he just doesn't have these right now.
Yeah, Tim needs brush war. Tim needs to he needs to flip country. I mean, if he flips over Panama and he flips over Brazil and gets dominations there, and then scores them, maybe he gets into war games range. But Asia, I mean, he's down 4 battlegrounds to 2. He's got to flip. He's got to flip not just one country but 2. In Asia, so that's really not going to happen. He can flip one to get things to even things out, but he's not going to get a domination there. Europe, about the only thing that's gonna flip Europe is a brush war in Italy, and Stryker's holding on to that. Even Reformer's not going to do anything. So yeah, it's hard to see Tim's path back. Maybe he draws Junta, ABM, Central. He's able to pick up some quick points
war
for
games.
war games.
Yeah,
Yeah, OPEC. OPEC is a nice 4 points. It's just it's so hard here. And again, one small step would have been a nice 3 VPs for him to start thinking about war games. Tim burned gunman. On one hand, obviously, you'd love to have that possibility going to the late war. Stryker would not have been so cavalier with the China card for sure. But on the other, if Tim had not played gunman and seen that Stryker had Central, I don't think he would have couped Panama. I think he would have taken a small coup of Angola, and then Stryker would have filled up Panama and Cuba and won the game, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because that was sort of a desperation China card coup of Panama.
Under purge there.
Yeah.
Like you're going to take a coup in Angola and just hope your opponent doesn't have Central.
Yep. Stryker's thinking about this for a long time. He's got Wheelberry, he's got Brush War, and we likely know the third card. Just they're not thinking about it right now. So I'm reasonably confident we will not see him play We Will Bury You.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
So that leaves Brush War or whatever the third card is. Certainly he is considering it.
You've got to hold Brush War here. There's no good way to. I think you're holding Brush War.
Yeah, and unless that last Soviet card is really nasty, but I'm failing to come up with one.
Oh, he's going to use it for ops. Okay, and Central America, Iranian hostage crisis comes on turn 8, but that's one turn too late for Tim. Central America, and no real tools to speak of for contesting Central America.
No, but he does draw aims.
But the Stryker has headline peak as well.
Yep, that's true. But aim's still good.
Yep, yeah, aim's still good.
But it would.
And there's nothing else. There's nothing else here.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, I think you're headlining games here and hoping that you hit war games. Obviously, Stryker will immediately dump Europe if he has it, Europe or Asia.
Asia, yep. Yep, not sure what Tim is thinking about here.
Yeah.
His mouse is not moving, nor I think we might have a little bit of a frozen stream, actually.
Possible.
Because,
okay.
no, I think that's Harib's mouse.
Yeah, Harib's mouse is moving, but Tim's is not.
And I can't see his clock, but you can usually the superpowers pulsate.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Okay, so we got a little bit of a frozen screen situation, but I have to think that we'll see Tim headline.
Okay.
Okay. Still doesn't stop domination, but okay. Maybe he doesn't want to get it. Maybe he doesn't want to get it defectored. Okay. Well, that's gonna.
So mean.
Yeah, and it's clearly. I mean, Tim could remove here because he's gonna want a coup anyway. But
it's not worth it.
Well, yeah, he's not going to want to coup Costa Rica, but he may want to coup Guatemala if he actually wants to prevent this domination.
I mean, I guess the benefit is you do get kind of you can coup and then fill Cuba up, and you've gotten rid of Cuban.
Yeah. Okay, so those are some scary cards. What do you?
Oh, I don't know. Chernobyl, I think you have to get rid of just because. I mean, Michael doesn't know about Central. Well, but with Ortega now gone, that's the other problem. Playing Ortega, Chernobyl, and then just going to Cuba. So I think for that reason, it has to be Chernobyl.
Yeah. This isn't a particularly bad hand to get terrorized on. Kennedy is obviously harmless. Flower Power is not in effect. Evil Empire is a VP, but the War Games is not it. Yeah, Chernobyl's the right call, and Tim makes the same decision.
Yeah, that's the problem there with playing Ortega. Is it's A, it wasn't particularly effective, and B, now it allows Stryker to go into Cuba. So I would expect a coup of Haiti here, and I would expect then we'll see Tim just dump Central.
Yep. And he's going to give up 2 VPs, but I know Stryker doesn't have War Games. Again, Tim just is not in a position here to come back. So this game would have ended probably turn 5, maybe turn 6, if not for that ridiculous sequence of Quagmire rolls. But, Quagmire kept Tim in the game, so to speak. Scoring timings were just brutal for him.
Yeah, particularly the Middle East.
Just don't know how to win this one. Yeah, we don't know either, Tim.
Well, can you get Quagmire back?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Okay.
That's just an immediate central dump, right?
You would think. I mean, you could take a shot, I suppose. Why not coup Guatemala?
But you have to remove for Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, right.
And you're doing it negative at -1, like.
Yeah.
And now with Ortega gone,
yes.
If you leave Cuba at 1, Stryker's just going to march right in there.
Right. Yeah. Forgot about Cuban Missile Crisis. You are correct. That's why maybe actually doing it there with Ortega was the right move. Okay, going for the 3. Hits it. Yep. I think that's right. Okay.
And Tim doesn't even need the hostage crisis.
Well, and then I would suspect if you're Michael, we're going to see him event North Sea Oil.
Yes, I think for sure. Even though he can't take an extra action round this turn, I think denying OPEC is worth it.
Yep, and then I'll
You
be
just
interested to
don't
see if
need the three ops that badly.
no, you don't. There's nothing that you're, and certainly 5 VP there. Not so fun.
So let's talk about the board. Europe is 5 for Michael. Central America is 2. Africa is 4. So that's 11 for Michael. To go with Asia, which forget about shuttle. That's right now what? 6? That's 6.
Yeah.
So it's plus 17 for Michael. So that's 26 for Michael. Tim has the Middle East, which right now he has presenceless control. So that's 13. So that's so if the game were to end right this second, it would be 13 VPs. Michael would win by 13.
Yeah.
So Tim's got to flip over. If he flips over Brazil, that's 5 points. He's got to flip over a country in Asia. He's got to flip over a country in Africa, which any of those 3 countries are eminently realignable. Or do something in Europe, and he doesn't have. He just those big events that would help him do those things are gone. So he just needs big coups and Stryker to draw terrible cards.
Yep, and here we go, more cooing in the Caribbean. Yep.
And this
That
time
will
under
that.
quads, yep. So
Yep.
Tim's about to be realigned out of Cuba. But Michael's
Now,
in no hurry.
Yep. Okay, so this is debt crisis play.
Yep. Okay. So I like this play because Stryker, I don't remember exactly what Stryker has in his hand, but at least force him to skip an action round. Although, of course, Tim will be skipping an action round himself by eventing the debt crisis.
I'm actually not sure why Tim removed the 2 from Cuba after he'd already gotten his mill offs from the war.
Yeah. Maybe not necessary. Okay.
Yeah.
Stryker's going to overprotect to stop that nonsense. So I think you just fix this. And we have 1 Colombia.
Exciting.
Funny that Colombia, you and I talked about it, Ted. Colombia, often one of the most cooed countries in this game, flips back and forth all the time. We've talked about that earlier, but I think that's the first influence point we've seen Colombia all game.
I think it is. I think you are correct. That is unusual, certainly.
And Stryker does not go for the event on North Sea. Wow. Okay, so really bad VL lines there. He's going to coup Guatemala at -1 just to keep presence there, I guess. Okay.
Doesn't space Ussuri.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Ussuri spaced to stop the headline peak and just to get it out of your hand.
Right, and potentially neutralize Star Wars.
Yeah. One small step is gone. Okay, so Michael's just going to go for realigns again. Okay, finally they are gone. Realign in Colombia. So Michael did have big realigns in Brazil at -1 earlier in the game to flip that country over. 3 scoring cards, and those are not the 3 scoring cards that Tim wanted to see. Now, he will be able to get rid of Europe, presumably, with the Reformer.
Defector is still out there, right?
Yep, Defector's still out there. Oh, my goodness. This is not the hand that Tim wanted to see. So Tim's going to have to play Headline Reformer, hope it doesn't get defectored. He does not have a non-battleground in Europe, so he can't do the 10-point swing. And And then, yeah, he doesn't have any tools with which to contest Asia, so he's going to have to eat the 6 there, which becomes 7 under shuttle. And then South America is going to be even, except he's going to have to give a coup, which there's a good chance it will go to South America because Tim is going to have to give up this coup to score Europe for even.
Yep. Oh! That's
What?
interesting.
What?
I don't understand.
Okay. What's Che going to do for you?
Well, a whole lot of nothing. I don't know if Tim just kind of is waving the white flag a little bit here. Oh, no. I think we'll just see Michael coup with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was not a serious effort to...
No, okay. I'm just gonna... Mm-hmm. Deciding which hill to die on, which country is it that will incite nuclear war. I think Tim just very frustrated at this point, and I do not blame him, although, frankly, the Quagmire rolls cannot complain.
Yes, those Quagmire rolls were crazy. So, folks, as you know, just once again, wanted to remind you that after this game, we'll have bad roll, Tim. We will have the draw for the Nations Cup, and we'll also have the draw for the Champions League group stage. So stick around for that. And then after that, we'll have OTSL Game of the Week over on Cassius Gaming. Craig Richards, J.R. Jones will have the call for you. And Scott Sennin and I will be playing another All-American Showdown in OTSL Game of the Week. So if you're looking for more Twilight Struggle action today, we do have it for you. And there's Defectors. So if Tim had Headline Reformer, he would have been met solidly with those Defectors. And he would have been probably even more frustrated.
Yep. Okay, sure, why not?
Maybe Stryker doesn't have a 2-up, Ted.
Maybe, Justin.
These cards are all so bad for Tim. And because of grain sales, he's got to play all of them, or play China. I mean, the game is over regardless. And there are no friendly cards that Stryker could have that Tim could wait for him to play.
No, I would suspect you see Tim jam China into Europe here.
Yep.
But it doesn't really matter.
Yep, sure. Jam France. Because all the Asian battlegrounds are overprotected. I don't really know what the purpose of that is, but all right. Doesn't even change the domination situation. Michael wipes him out there in one roll. Angola here could be at a nice +4. And one last miss on a roll for Tim.
Yep, why not?
So I guess, Ted, just looking back, this one is all over. A nice event here for Stryker. What was the big turning point here for Tim? Obviously, the Japan thing on turn 3 was absolutely huge. But what else happened here for him? I mean, I think losing Korea, D-stall, not getting D-stall. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, not getting D-stall. The Japan thing was really, I think, devastating. Yeah, I don't know that he would have won the game either way, but and then you have to think he did get decalled. But I mean, look at the state of Africa right now. State of Africa, really volatile region. And then the other thing is Middle East, right? Just the timing of that scoring.
Yeah, yeah. The timing of the scoring was rough for him, and then those 2-1s in Angola were also incredibly
Yeah,
rough.
that's true. Yeah,
Um,
that's a big part of the reason why he doesn't.
Tim should have headed into the mid-war up 4 battlegrounds to 1 in Africa, and then threatening realliance potentially for an African control. But instead, he got absolutely nothing. So that was really rough for him. Africa came out turn 6. Came out turn 7, and then Tim had to give up a domination there. And then the Middle East not coming back was huge for him. If Tim had been able to get to a Ron poke and then immediate score for something just for 10, things could have looked a lot different. And that's it. Michael Stryker is your Dubai Grand Slam champion. So